And you know the sun's sitting fast, just like they say, nothing good ever lasts. Go on now and kiss it goodbye, but hold on to your love because your heart's bound to die. Go on now and say goodbye to our town, to our town. Can't you see the sun sitting down on our town, on our town? Good night. Now I sit on the porch, watch lightning bugs fly. I can't see too good, I got tears in my eyes. I'm leaving tomorrow, but I don't wanna go. I love you, my town, you'll always live in my soul. And you know the sun's sitting fast, and just like they say, nothing good ever lasts. Go on now and kiss it goodbye, but hold on to your love because your heart's bound to die. Go on now and say goodbye to our town, to our town. Can't you see the sun sitting down on our town, on our town? Good night.
Good evening and welcome to this week in review. Tonight's stories include Guiding Movement hosts retirement celebration for one of their guiders, the Burgeo Diversification Development Board annual meeting, interview with Communities in School coordinator. These stories plus BBS Playbell, Off the Rack and more coming up after this.
6 months ago, she didn't know what kidney disease was. Today, it affects every aspect of her life. Hours of dialysis don't leave much time for bedtime stories. She misses weekend camping trips. She misses family pizza night. And her daughter misses them too. Through research and patient services, the Kidney Foundation is helping to create a better life for patients and their families.
On Sunday, April the 25th, the Guiding Movement hosted a retirement social and supper for one of their longtime guiders. This event was organized to honor the 35 years of service Biddy Bedridge has given to the Guiding Movement and the girls of Burgeo. The invited guests were all the past and present guiders and commissioners who had worked with Biddy over the past 35 years. There were also special guests that was invited by Biddy. To begin the afternoon, everyone enjoyed reminiscing about their years in guiding as they looked at some old guiding photographs. Next up, some of the present guiders acted out and sang, "If I Wasn't a Guider." Of course, there was singing. Most of the songs that were sung were some of Biddy's favorites. There was "My Ship Sailed from China," "If You're Happy and You Know It," and "He's Got the Whole World in His Hands." Then it was time for some presentations. Commissioner Elsie Rose presented Biddy with a photo collage of some of her activities with the Brownies and a memory box. Biddy thanked everyone and told them how much she had enjoyed her many years working with the girls of our community. The guiders then served Biddy and her guest a cold plate supper with trifle for dessert. We extend our congratulations to Biddy for her 35 years of dedication to the Guiding Movement here in Burgeo and wish her well for all her future endeavors. On Tuesday of this week, we had an interview with June Anderson, the Communities in School coordinator. We have with us in our studio today June Anderson, and June Anderson is our Communities in School representative. Welcome, June.
Hi, Maureen. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's start right off. What is CIS?
CIS stands for Communities in Schools, and what that is, basically, it's a branch from the Community Education Network. It was introduced in 1996. It's a partnership with businesses, health and social agencies, schools, families, and neighborhood groups that all work together and help young people be the best that they can be and stay in school.
And we've had our Communities in School for quite some time, I do believe.
I think approximately 6 or 7 years, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it seems when I started working with BBS here, which will be 6 years now in September coming, It started either that fall or that spring, so
Yes.
they've been there for quite some
Yeah.
time. Now, who funds this program? Where does the funding come from?
It's funded through HRDC, and it is hoped by HRDC that the person selected for the position will provide many services to the school children, to the staff, and in turn the CIS worker would learn some valuable skills that would help him or her in finding permanent employment once the CIS term is over.
Okay. Now, we know that there's a lot of beneficial programs coming out of the communities in school. Now, on a personal note, how has this program benefited you?
Well, so far I've been very successful in developing some strong computer skills from this opportunity, and I feel less intimidated now when anybody mentions computers, and I'm sure that the skills will help me if any jobs arise and I want to try for them. I certainly will try for them now that I do have some computer skills, and I've also developed a self-confidence that will help me to achieve any goal I think that I wish to pursue.
Oh, very good. And now, what are some of the activities that you've been involved in at school?
Well, have you noticed that I've jotted a few down because it's hard to remember everything. But since I've been site coordinator at the school, I've been successful in developing many friendships with the staff and the students. Some of my responsibilities are to oversee the mentoring program. The mentoring program is like a big brother, big sister organization, and it's where older kids pair up with younger kids and help them overcome barriers or shyness, and sometimes that interferes with their attempts to get involved with outside activities and stuff. A mentor is someone the student feels comfortable talking to, and they can get help from them for homework reasons, or just someone to talk to if they're being bullied, or an older role model to do fun things with. Some things they do are like crafts, and so far this year we went sliding, and they've had computer time and games and finger painting, and any ideas that they come up with that they like to try, we also try to encourage that as well.
Okay. I think you're involved with the snack program. Does that fall under the
Yes.
communities in school? Yeah.
Yes. I've been overseeing the snack club. Snack club provides healthy snacks every day at recess time to all students. I'm responsible for picking up the food items and making sure we have plenty of snacks on hand. The business community and the organizations and everyone in the community have been and are still very supportive of this program. We raise money for the program once in a while, and when we do, the Kids Eat Smart Foundation match whatever funds we raise, and they also provide grants for us on an as-needed basis. The snack club is run solely by volunteers from the community and has been a huge success thanks to everyone that I've just mentioned.
I believe your snack program had a fundraiser not too long ago on a full belly meal deal.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was.
It was a full belly basket.
That's it. Okay, yeah.
There were over $100 worth of food items and stuff in the basket, and we sold tickets, and we raised $540, I think it was.
Now, did the Children's Food Foundation match that?
They will. Yeah.
They will. Marvelous.
We just send them in a list, or let them know of whatever fundraisers we have, and we'll send them in a list, and they'll just match. If we raise $1,000, they'll give us $1,000, or whatever the case may be.
Excellent. And you mentioned your snack program volunteers too. Are all the people involved, are they all parents?
No, there's not all parents. Some people are grandparents, and some people are just individuals in the community who just want to help out and want something extra to do, and it's greatly appreciated, I must say, to see so many people become involved.
Yeah, I noticed that, and that's why I questioned, because when you had your snack program, Volunteer Appreciation Social, I noticed a couple of individuals there who I know didn't have kids in school.
Yes, that's
and
right.
And I thought, well, that was wonderful, because most of the time those programs are run by parents and things like that. So it's nice to see other individuals out there involved in
Yes, it is.
this program. And I know it's very successful. I've been at the school a couple of times when
Yes.
when you've been giving out snacks. So it's
Yeah,
very
we've
good.
been trying to introduce something different every now and again. Like a few times we've had pizza and fruit cups, and I don't know, we're always looking for new ideas, just something different once in a while so that the kids can look forward to it.
Okay. And some other activities that you've done since you've been there?
Well, this year, for the first time in a long time, Burjo Academy has been successful in having a music teacher at the school, Mrs. Heather Candle, and she's coordinated senior and junior choirs at school, and I've been very involved with helping her and the students. So far, the choirs performed at both of the churches and at various school functions, and they've become a very important part of the school spirit. And sometime in the near future, I think we're planning a trip to Stephenville, and we're going to take the choirs in there and just perform for one of the schools in there.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice. I don't know if you have it on your list or not, but sometimes you're involved in less glamorous things. And I know we have to thank you for all the colorful bulletin boards
Yes.
that are at the school.
Yeah, I take care of the bulletin boards. Usually try to put one up usually once a month for whatever is happening that month. And I usually put a few thought for the week quotes around the school, just something to read and remember in the future and stuff like that. And I've coordinated a story hour. Well, it's been ongoing over years, but this year I've been running it along with Laura Mumberkit. She's working with the resource center at the school, and she and I and two volunteers, Lacey Ingram and Victoria Sims, have been getting together and singing songs and reading stories and doing crafts, and that's usually once a week, every Monday evening from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. And sometimes if it's a special occasion, we usually have a little party or something and a few snacks. And
Make it a little bit special for them.
yeah. And I attend all the special events at school, extracurricular activities, and take pictures. Sometimes I send a few to the Golf News, and Tracy Earle, she's the representative for this area, and she usually takes the pictures and sends them in for me, usually with a little item about whatever's happening in school and stuff. And some of the pictures will be used for the yearbook, and others will be just displayed around the school so the kids can look at themselves and see what they've been up to. And I'm also part of the school Respect team. That's a team that was put together this year. We meet regularly with the guidance counselor, and CYN Valerie Sims Anderson is involved. And there's 9 students, and we address respect issues that come up at school, and we try to contemplate ways to deal with them. We also promote spirit around the school, and by doing that we have every Friday we have special days like spirit days. So far we've had Hat Day, Dress Like Twins Day, and Dress as Your Favorite Character Day, and there's many more. There's just a few that I can think of right now at the top of my head. But we'll be continuing that throughout the year, and the students usually enjoy these days and lightens the atmosphere around the school and makes everyone have a little laugh every now and again. And so far this year I've helped plan Lifelong Connections Day for students in grades 9 to 12. We had approximately, I think, 12 to 14 presenters, and they came to school and other buildings in the community and talked to the students about career choices. Some of them were hands-on sessions, like a few students went into Rick's garage in there and worked with a few of his tools and stuff, and a few people were here trying out the cameras, and it was just basically getting the students out there to have a feel for what is out there and see if that's something they'd be interested in once they're finished school, right? And well, these are just some of the things that we've been doing. I provide support to the students and staff, but there are endless ways in which the CIS coordinator can help out to bring the community into the school, and as well as the school into the community. During Christmas, for example, both the senior and junior choir went to the hospital and to the seniors complex and provided some Christmas music. So once again is bringing the school into the community, and by, like I say, bringing all the volunteers in for the snack program and like coaches and stuff into the school and stuff, is everybody's working together to ensure the kids are doing what they're supposed to be doing and making sure they lack nothing, right?
Well, you've been quite busy.
Yes.
Your term is, I understand, for 1 year?
Yeah, the position is just for 1 year. It's from the beginning of the school year until this year is June the 25th, the last
Okay,
day
so
of
it's a school year.
Just one school year.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What happens after now June? You're finished, that's it?
Yeah, that'll be it. Then
you?
I move out and look for something else to do, and hopefully, like I said, by some of the things that I've done and some of the things that I've learned, because most definitely I've learned a few things on the way as well, and by that I hope that I'll be able to get something else to do, which is the main reason why HRDC funds this CIS.
And that's why they fund it just for a year, I understand.
Yes, and because next year it'll give somebody else a chance to go in and try to do the same thing.
Okay. Now, you have your, like, I know you're going to be finished, and I know come September, maybe last part of August, come September, there's other people who's going to be trying for this position. What would you say to those folks?
Well, I encourage anyone in the community to get involved with your school in any way you can, volunteering or by continuing to support the programs already in place. But for anyone who feels like they have something to offer to the students or to the community, it's a great job opportunity for you. So far it has been ideal for me, and I have no doubt that the experiences will help me in the future. So once again, I'd like to thank HRDC for funding this position and providing a much needed service to the school and to our community as well.
Okay. Having said that, is there anything else that you'd like to add? Is there any upcoming event that you're going to be involved in now within the short term?
Well, hopefully by the end of this week or maybe next week, I'm not quite sure when, but we'll be taking the grades 10, 11, and 12, I think it is, into Corner Brook to take a look at the colleges and just see what they're planning to do in the future, and just to have a look around, and hopefully that they'll have a better feel for it then once they do go in there. So that's one of the things that we're planning to do. We just last week had the Volunteer Appreciation Night. That was just to show the volunteers at the snack club just how much they are appreciated. Because, I mean, they do provide a much needed service, and
Yes, they do.
if the volunteers don't show up, then obviously the kids
Do it out.
they would not be getting the snacks, not from the school anyway.
You had a list of things that you were involved in all through the year, but you were also involved with the basically the Teacher Appreciation Week. I believe the CIS coordinator in school, that's you, basically organized and put into place all the activities that the teachers was there. So it really gives you a wide variety of activities to be involved in.
Yeah. Well, like I say, whatever is needed, basically. If I'm over there and somebody needs some help, or if I see there's a opening for something that I can help out with, I spend some time in the resource center over there with Michelle and Amy and Joey and Laura, and And sometimes Michelle's husband Derek comes in, does a bit of singing for the kids and whatnot, and I help sing with him, and whatever I can do over there is basically.
So it's almost like I won't say a open book program, because obviously there's some criteria and some things that you have to meet,
Yes.
but other than some of the criteria that you have to meet, it's pretty much open. If you see an opportunity where you can improve something or start something, you can go ahead and do it.
Well, like for example, like somebody who probably gets the job next year might not have a bit of interest whatsoever in singing or in the choir or that sort of thing, that they probably bring something
different,
completely new to the program. Maybe they're an artist or, you know, whatever they feel comfortable doing, and that's what they all bring to the school. So really it's just up to the person themselves. But like I said, there are some things that you have to be responsible for in the snack club and the mentoring program, and you know, just to name a couple, is some of the things that you do have some things that you do have to do, right?
Okay, well, we certainly thank you very much for coming in today and speaking with us and letting us know what's been going on at the school. It's a busy place over there.
Oh, yes.
And we're so glad that you dropped by and let us know what you're doing.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed coming.
Yeah, well, we're so glad you came, and we're glad to have you.
Okay.
Thanks. On Tuesday of this week, the BDDB held their annual general meeting. The meeting was chaired by Johnny McPherson, Executive Director with the Long Range Board. First on the agenda was the introduction of the Board of Directors for the BDDB. There were letters of regret from our MP, Belle Matthews, and our MHA, Calvin Parsons. Adoption of the agenda and the minutes from the last annual meeting were the next points to be taken care of. Mr. Calvin White, chairperson with the Long Range Red Board, was the guest speaker for the evening. Mr. McPherson gave the 19 people in attendance a few minutes to look over the financial report and to ask any questions related to the report. Mr. Melton Vatcher, chairperson of the BDDB, presented his report. Mr. Vatcher made a few very important comments.
It is my duty as chairman of the local board to present to you the annual report of the activities of the BDDB for the past year. At this time, I would like to thank Tom Cutler, our outgoing member of the board, for his time, energy, and dedication to the community for the past 4 years. So Tom is not here, but thank you, Tom, and we wish you the best. The BDDB, as you may well know, is a non-profit, community-based volunteer organization. In the past, our board was comprised of 10 members, but at this time, our membership consists of 6, and Johnny already introduced the members. We have been fortunate up to this point and have also had the services of the full-time coordinator, Teresa Peterson. Up until last June, we also had the full-time services of our own EDO, Greg Uyer. Due to restructuring, which perhaps Kelvin may allude to, or Johnny can deal with perhaps later on, we've since lost our EDO position, and it's possible, quite possible, that we may lose our coordinator as a result of lack of funding. I guess these are the signs of the tough times that we're facing.
Up next was the election of officers. 3 individuals were nominated from the floor, 2 declined, and 1 accepted. The board still needs 4 more new members. The meeting was adjourned at approximately 8 p.m. If anyone in the community is interested in becoming involved with the BDDB, please contact the office at 886-2302. Stay tuned for more of This Week in Review coming up after this.
We live in a special place, made special by natural beauty and our native wildlife. Like the endangered Newfoundland marten. The Newfoundland marten lives on the edge of extinction. To protect our native species, we must respect their habitat, their homes. They live where we live.
In last week's news broadcast, we told you about the new coyote licenses and that they would cost $10 plus GST. On Monday of this week, we received additional information on the cost of the licenses. This information was provided by the Department of Environment and Conservation, Inland Fish and Wildlife Division. It states, effective May the 1st, 2004, the province is introducing a coyote shooting license. For this year only, the license will be effective from May the 1st, 2004, up to and including July the 10th, 2004, and then from September the 11th, 2004, up to and including July the 9th, 2005. These licenses are for shooting only. The fee for the license is $10 plus HST for a total of $11.50. Wildlife vendors may charge at the point of sale an additional $3 for each type of license sold. This makes the coyote shooting license cost a total of $14.50. Burgeo residents will be able to purchase a coyote shooting license at the local pro hardware store. On Wednesday of this week, we received a news release from the Health and Community Services Western. The Health and Community Services Western is in the process of resuming its programs and services now that the NAEP employees have returned to work. Since April the 1st, 2004, all NAEP employees were off the job. Over 70% of the workforce of the Health and Community Services Western. Client appointments for service will resume within the next few days. Although clients should check with their local Health and Community Services Western office to confirm their appointments. Over the next few weeks, we will be trying to see those clients who have an urgent need that haven't been met within the past month, said the CEO, Susan Gillum, of the Health and Community Services Western. We ask for the public's patience as we move to resume our services. Health and Community Services Western welcomes back all its NAEP employees and would like to thank the public for their patience and understanding during this difficult period. Health and Community Service Western is a regional health and community service organization that is mandated to provide community mental health, addictions, community support, public health nursing, child, youth, and family services, community corrections, and population health. On Thursday of this week, the Canadian Coast Guard were at the Fish Plant Wharf. Many of you may have seen the George at the Fish Plant Wharf during the past couple of weeks. They have been involved in an oil spill training procedures. Two trainers, Donnie Fitzpatrick and Wayne Pauls, with the St. John's branch of the Coast Guard, were putting off the training. Members of the Ground Search and Rescue, as well as members of the Burgeo Fire Department, took part in the training. This was provided free of charge to the Ground Search and Rescue and Fire Department. If these groups had to cover the costs, it would have cost the group $4,000. This was quite a donation to these volunteer groups. There were two groups with 4 days training each. The first group took training last weekend. The second group will conclude their training this weekend. The 4 days called for classroom instruction in the morning and hands-on practice in the afternoon. The last day will be exam day. On Thursday of this week, group number 2 were at the Fish Plant Wharf practicing with the oil boom. In the event of an oil spill off our shores, Burgeo now has a group of well-trained people to help deal with the spill. The deadline for removal of studded tires has been extended. The Registrar of Motor Vehicles would like to advise the public that the deadline for removal of studded tires is being extended by 1 month. The deadline is normally April the 30th of each year. It is being extended until May the 31st because of adverse weather conditions in some areas of the province. Stay with us for Off the Rack and the BBS Playbill, all after this.
Oh, wow. Is he okay? Are you okay? Is he wasted?
People don't understand. I don't get wasted. I have epilepsy.
Off the Rack. This week, as we scanned our tape rack, we came across a tape of children singing at a book scoff at the public library. Let's look back to April the 25th, 1993.
Singing in the rain, what a glorious feeling. I'm happy again, 'cause thumbs together. Your thumbs together. I'm singing in the rain. Just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling. I'm happy.
BBS Playbill. Try your luck on Wednesday by playing preschool TV bingo. On Thursday, we will have a rebroadcast of The Bandwagon from April '88. Join Pansy and the gang for 2 stories, a craft, and lots of fun on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on Pansy's Garden. And I'll be here again next week with This Week in Review. Please stay tuned now for The Bandwagon from April the 28th, 1988. For This Week in Review, I'm Marie Rose. Good night and God bless.